Hey everybody, this is Nikki with Delicate Tension Tarot. This is going to be a reading for the sign of Libra, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or if you just have a lot of Libra placements in your chart. This reading will be surrounding the energies from October 1st to the 15th. We do have Pluto going direct on October 3rd. Now, Pluto's retrograde period was really supposed to help us go within and experience a radical inner transformation. This could have been a lot of really uncomfortable things coming to the surface, emotions, truths about ourselves that we didn't want to accept. It's very deep. It can be very, very conflicting. But at the same time, I feel like if you went within and did the work, if you really faced those aspects of yourself, then with this period, and let me back up a little bit, because to be perfectly honest, I don't think there was any way to avoid this. I think that it's almost like the more you tried to avoid it, the more it got pushed in your face, right? So with Pluto moving direct, I feel like this is going to be the ability to take the inner transformation and move it into the external world. So what you have changed internally is going to be expressed externally. That being said, let me kind of start tuning in and get to it with your reading. It's almost as if I'm waiting for the sun to rise. And I can see it. I can see the sky starting to lighten up and the sun peering over the horizon. And with that, kind of the shifting and changing of colors. So I think you're starting to see the sun come up. I think you really are, with each breath, releasing more and more and really starting to reconnect with the beauty of your own life. It's not going to work. So let's see what's going on. What is going to be the energy for Libra for the first 2 weeks of October? We have the Seven of Swords in reverse, King of Wands, Knight of Cups in reverse, there's a lot. The World, Queen of Cups, Magician in reverse, Eight of Pentacles, Three of Cups, and we have the Six of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Now, I feel like within the first 2 weeks there's going to be this energy of really coming clean with yourself in the way of understanding the actions you need to take in your life. As I was casually talking about Pluto going direct, to me the Seven of Swords in reverse is the recognition and the understanding of those things that we don't want to accept about ourselves that are less than pleasant coming to the surface. I think that's interesting. So I think that what's happening right now for you is you're stepping out of this energy of being simply an observer, which is here in the Queen of Cups, right? I think you're stepping out of the role of being the passive observer, closing out that cycle within the world, and stepping into the energy of being the participant, which is the King of Wands. I think you're now choosing to participate in life, because I feel like with the Magician in reverse and the Queen of Cups, there's this essence here of this energy about, I feel like for a little while your emotions were in control of you and you weren't in control of your emotions. Now, I do think that you did the best you could to continually, we'll say, manipulate and shift those emotions. I think that you were trying to do a lot, trying to really understand them, but I think you were also trying to protect them as well. I keep feeling the need. It's almost like I can't keep swallowing, which it feels like my throat's closing up. So there's something here. Very interesting. I feel like you might have even possibly spent a lot of time talking about your feelings or how your emotions were moving through you. And now you're moving out of talking about them and actually doing things about it. So instead of this energy of, I need to express my emotions, I need to express how I feel, but I'm going to express it in a way that maybe isn't what is most suitable for me, it's not going to create anything, right? You expressing these emotions didn't create anything. I feel like it actually made more of a mess. So stepping out of that energy, I feel like you're taking charge and you're taking action and you're taking control. And in doing that, there is this essence of dutiful creation. And I think you are creating something here that's going to make you very happy. And I do think that you are going to be very successful in whatever it is that you are creating. So we're going to take a look at some clarifiers here. Let's clarify the Seven of Swords in reverse and the King of Wands. I think before any of this newness came in, before you could take action, you did, like I said, have to go within with the Hermit and really understand the self-defeating habits or behaviors that were a part of your life that were keeping you from obtaining what it is that you wanted. And now that you do understand that, I feel like with the Page of Wands and the Four of Wands, this action that you are taking, even if it is in baby steps, is going to create stability and long-term happiness for you. Let's clarify the Queen of Cups and the Magician. I think you guys are going to have a lot going on for the first 2 weeks, because there's literally 4 to 5 cards that are wanting to come out all at once when I'm wanting to clarify this. We have the Seven of Cups in reverse, the Nine of Cups, Judgment, the Chariot, and Justice in reverse. So yeah, I feel like what you had to do to balance yourself out is, like I said, there needed to be a change in the way that you perceived your emotions or your emotional state of being. You couldn't just constantly be doing this element of manipulating or shifting or attempting to mold your emotions to suit what was going on around you, or even to change the energy or other things that was happening around you. I think it was about marrying that with this masculine energy of action in the King of Wands. With the Seven of Cups in reverse and the Nine of Cups, I feel like there was a little bit of confusion at some point I think you were getting your wants and your needs confused. And I think because of that, it's almost like justice could not be served. It's like things could not come into balance. But I think that there was this interesting thing that happened that started creating this propulsion within the chariot. With Judgment, it really does feel like that something snapped into place, something happened. This is an internal change. This is something that almost, I do feel like happened overnight. You could have woken up one day and felt totally different. And I think right now this energy that's currently occurring for you is about exploring that. Six of Cups. Yeah, I think that you're now exploring the things around you with more of a take that active but childlike sense of wonder. I do think there's a lot of growth, like I said, within your environment at this time. I also like this little cat down here in the corner. I just keep staring at that. I do feel like this is hand in hand with King of Wands energy, just because fire can be, you know, referred back to very Leonine energy. But with the way that the cat is hiding in the grass, I feel like there's a part of you that sees more than you say. And I really think it's about trusting what you see at this time. And like I said, with that childlike sense of wonder, I think whatever actions you're taking these actions because of what it is that you're seeing. And I think you're really having to trust what you see. And I think you're having to trust in the way that a child does. There is no questioning it. There's just being open to it, staying open to it, and there's embracing it. So let's clarify the Three of Cups here. And the Queen of Cups. With the Star. So I do feel like this this interesting marriage of energy, this interesting coming together of the water element with fire is creating this success for you. And I will say, I do think when the success comes up, you are going to shift back into the Queen of Cups energy a little bit. But I think it's because it's going to be such an emotionally fulfilling experience for you. You're going to understand that there is that delicate balance of action and receptivity. You have to put the work in, and once you have put the work in, you have to know when to stop and when to sit back and allow yourself to receive what it is that you've worked hard for. There's a very heavy feeling of spiritual influence at this time, especially with the Fool and the Star. You are trusting yourself and you are trusting the world around you in a way that you never have before. And I think that's what I was feeling with watching the sun come up, right? Because it did. It felt very beautiful. It felt very open. Like taking a step back to appreciate something in a way a child would. Like it's something amazing, right? We have Death in reverse. Yeah, I feel like there's this aspect of you that is being resurrected, and I'm noticing the Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. There's an aspect of you that is being resurrected in a very spiritual and free way. Your faith and your trust is being resurrected at this time. And I think because of that, there are these things that are simply going to really be shifting and moving and changing in your life in ways that you didn't expect. Now, I do think that one of the things I could say about this situation is that I do think that this newfound energy, this profound energy that you're experiencing is going to be tested a little bit. Yeah, with the Two of Pentacles, I think it's going to be tested, and I think you are going to be questioning it at some points. Because with that Two of Pentacles, we do have the Knight of Swords and the Nine of Pentacles and the Devil on the bottom of the deck. So I do think that you're going to be tested by some things in your surroundings that are going to make you question how stable you are in this energy, and really wondering if you should trust this newfound faith or spiritual feeling or influence that is coming into your life at this time. Please maintain the trust in it. I think all this is it's these little pressure points that are being hit as reminders to not go back to the energy of what was controlling you before, which I do think was negative thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. I actually think it was being trapped very much so by real world influences. It's being trapped by all the things that are in front of you and not trusting in yourself. And in reality, it was allowing other things to control or dictate your actions and movements. So let's go ahead and pull some themed cards here. What is the overall theme or energy for the first 2 weeks? We have communion. Combat. Yeah, like I said, I think you're really going to be, I'm going to get that in a minute, but I'm going to explain this first because I feel like I need to explain this before I explain that. Definitely feel like that. Don't even know what it is yet, but we'll get there. Now, communion and combat, I think once you start having more of this experience with this communion within yourself, it may even be with another, but because of how can I put this? Because of how much this feels like a reawakening or a resurrection of something within yourself, something that I think you have not experienced in quite some time, I do think that reality started trapping you. I think it started creating a lot of this pressure and a lot of this combat. And I think now that that's being released and you're moving into very free-flowing and trusting energy, you are going to have things that are coming up against that experience that are really going to be asking you to put your money where your mouth is and see if you can walk your talk. So if you're actually going to surrender to this energy, remain in that state of surrender. Don't fight it. What is this card? I missed you. Now, while I do feel like this is you saying this to yourself, I feel like I said, I feel like whatever this healing was that took place, it could have even been healing aspects of something that you experienced a long time ago. And now that you've done that, there is that part of yourself, like I said, that's coming to the surface. And it's almost as if you can have this communication or this communion with yourself where you're saying, I missed you. I miss this part of myself that could do this. It's been a long time since we've, hung out or since I've experienced you. And now that you're coming back, I can feel more whole again. And while this could be another individual, I mean, it very well could be somebody saying that to you. I really do feel like this is about what is happening within yourself. And I think that through this happening within yourself, it's going to pull these things into your life that you really are trying to create. So I think this is a very positive turning of events for the first 2 weeks of October. I think that with what I was talking about in terms of Pluto going direct, whatever inner transformations have taken place within yourself, I now think it's time to express it in the external world. But because of how shaky that can be, right? I think this is like going through work training. This is something of a training process, and I feel like it's your 90-day probation period, pretty much. Let's see if you really can. I do feel like the next 3 months are going to be incredibly important, by the way. So I feel like the next 3 months are going to be interesting. I feel like you're going to see, for whatever reason that this is coming up in my mind, I feel like you're going to be seeing a lot of magic. But I still feel like there's going to be some mystery attached to that magic. I think that that mystery actually has to remain. And I think that while this is going to help you form a stronger bond with that aspect of yourself, that spiritual nature, that trust, that faith, that childlike sense of wonder, and just allowing life to be free-flowing, I do think that there are going to be aspects, like I said, where you are tested. So don't fight it. When things come up that start challenging you and pushing your buttons, when this devil energy starts rising to the surface, I think you need to learn to temper it with this trust. You're going to be in a very different place by next year. I want you to keep that in mind. I think in a positive way too. Yeah, because we have the Six of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune, we have the Ten of Wands in reverse, we have the Ace of Wands, and we have Temperance. So I do feel like, with Ten of Swords being the final card down here, I do feel like it is definitely an energy of the old way is done, and I think you're moving into something very new. I do think that this fire has been lit within your soul, and I think you do need to continue balancing it out and really nurturing it, because things are changing, and you're going to continue seeing that things are changing. Your debts have been paid. I'm getting that very specifically. Your debts have been paid. Okay, Libra. So thank you for joining me. If this if this did resonate with you, hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you wish to do. As always, if you need a personal reading from me, you can contact me at delicatetensiontarot@gmail.com. That is down in the description box below, as well as my Instagram, which is Delicate Tension. You can follow me there if you want to get collective general energy readings. And as always, this is a general reading. It may not resonate with everybody, but hopefully it resonated with somebody out there, because I do feel like this is a very beautiful message that needs to be heard at this time, especially with the craziness of everything we've been experiencing for the past 6 months, which I feel like it has been a lot. But I really do think you're kind of stepping through the veil onto the other side. And I do think you're coming out of a period of darkness, and now officially the sun is starting to rise. So enjoy this first 2 weeks, and also, I know it's Libra's birthday season, so happy birthday to anybody out there. I hope it's a good one.